Ah, SoCop, I see you got something new on your arm. What's that there?
Oh yes, this right here. This is a Star Wars tattoo I got right here in Thread City in Willimantic. Just want to give a shout out to Alex and my friend Wea for making me go, forcing me to get this. Not really, I really wanted to get this. But I just like how it came out. It's a rebel symbol from Star Wars, a little Jedi symbol in the bottom there. True Star Wars fan now.
Oh yeah, now he's even cooler than the guy with the earrings and the chains.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Geek fans. It's that time again. It's 4:30. It's Friday, and we're shooting at the luxurious Goodrich Studios International, and this is Geeks at the Movies. I'll be your host today. My name is Shane Goodrich, and joining me, as always, our illustrious lead writer, the Mr. Jacob Desitels.
What's going on, guys? That's a nice intro right there.
Oh yeah, Jacob's pumped up. He's got the new tattoo.
Yeah.
But let's get right to it with the geek news. Item number one: the first official trailer for the upcoming Assassin's Creed movie has hit the web. Jacob, this is based on a video game franchise. There's been a lot of bad movies that have been related to video game franchises. There's also another movie coming out called Warcraft. So we're going to see what happens, but tell me, you saw the trailer, what did you think?
Well, this would have been almost a perfect trailer if it wasn't for the Kanye West music in there. It just didn't fit at all, but I loved everything else about it. I loved, them showing that it's a new type of animus they have, like actually moves him around. It looks like he's not just sitting there inside of it.
It's not in his mind. It's actually happening in some sense.
Yeah, so
it's like the holodeck from Star Trek.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I think it'll work when we see it in the movie. But my favorite part about it was when he was actually in Spain, and running around and actually being an assassin. I love seeing all the parkour stuff, everything like that. But what did you think?
This trailer sucked. This is one of the worst trailers I've seen in a while. I have seen this reaction we're having right here. I have seen it played out on the web. I have seen his reaction and my reaction everywhere. Either you liked it a lot or you really hated it. I thought this looked god-awful in every imaginable way. The acting looked terrible. The fight choreography was embarrassing. They were doing that stupid dance kind of thing, which looks so dumb on screen. The budget, was this made for $5? All the special effects look bad. If I didn't know this was Assassin's Creed and I saw this, I'm like, wow, this is really generic, bad action movie, completely ahistorical. One of the things I always liked about Assassin's Creed was his historical accuracy. That they had a policy. I was reading about this, about historical accuracy, about the buildings and the clothing and that kind of thing. And their policy was, we're going to do 5 minutes of research on Wikipedia about anything. And you might go, oh, that's 5 minutes, who cares? That's far more than anyone ever does. Here, they clearly didn't do it. It's all just fake, made up. This is not Renaissance Italy. This is not this Spain, I mean. This is not the Spanish Inquisition. This is some bizarro world that looks kind of like it. There's nothing about nothing about it except possibly a couple of the scenes that reminded me of the show, like when of the video game, like when he jumps off that high balcony, were kind of cool. But mostly it just looked like really generic, really bland action movie. And if you don't know Assassin's Creed, I don't see how this is that interesting. And if you do, a lot of hardcore fans were really pissed off about a lot of the changes. I thought this was an abomination, and it's going to be a horrible failure.
Okay. I didn't see any of that reaction on the web yet, but
I've seen it in numerous places.
Yeah,
I saw it on Collider, saw it on Double Toasted. I mean, I saw a numerous articles. It's just, I saw the really negative reaction, the really positive reaction.
I don't know. It got me pumped up.
I mean, it was immediately. Before, I didn't read anything. I saw the trailer. As soon as it was done, I'm like, this was so bad. This is so poorly made. And also, the dialogue, it's going to be terrible, folks. I'm already predicting now. Let me make some predictions here. It's going to be bad, terrible dialogue, because they only had a few lines in there, and they were cheesy and poorly delivered. The whole storyline with the Animus thing, how they altered it from, now he's in the holodeck thing, I think it's just dumb. It would have made much more sense when he was just in a coma or whatever it was.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. I agree on that, but I don't know. I just thought that it looked like
it looked so cheap too. You didn't think the special, the budget looked like it must be made for $5.
I didn't think it looked bad at all.
Wow, this is reaction. I saw on that show I watched, Double Toasted. They had 3 guys that were like, "What the hell is this? This is garbage." And 3 guys were like, they weren't as happy about it as you, but they're like, "It looks pretty good. It looks all right."
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to the actual full trailer. This is just the teaser, but I think once you get some story beats in there,
it's gonna make it look worse. I think.
I don't know, man. I just think that it looks like the video game to me, but
It doesn't look like the video game. That's the thing. I wish it looked like the video game. The video game was so. I played a few. I didn't play that many of the games, but I played the one about the American Revolution, the one where they're in Rome, and you go into it and you go, "Wow, this is colonial New England brought to life. Wow, this is Renaissance, Rome and Italy brought to life." I don't know what they were showing there. What the hell was that?
Maybe because of. I'm not a big historical. I don't know that much about history and everything. You're a really big.
Right, I'm trained to be a historian in school.
Yeah, but so for me, I just looked at that and I didn't know. I was like.
That was my draw. But you didn't think a lot of the fighting looked really ridiculous and cheesy. I mean, there's one shot where this person who looks like they were in makeup and is kind of dancing and then does this thing.
Yeah.
And they zoom in, and I laughed. It was like an arrow fight scene. The choreography looked embarrassingly bad.
See, I don't know. I'm holding out hope this is going to be a good video game movie, but it might not. Because
this looks like it's going to be a wreck.
We got Warcraft first before Assassin's Creed comes out. And I have more hope for that.
I do have more hope for Warcraft because it seems like it's more generic fantasy that will appeal to people.
Yeah.
This, I think a lot of people are going to look at it and go, all right, it's more bland action.
I think the difference between Warcraft and Assassin's Creed is that Warcraft, it doesn't have so much story to the video game. They can explore that.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want
on their own. And then with Assassin's Creed, they got this already set up mythology, and now they're changing it all around. That's gonna make some.
Have you played a lot of the games?
I played all of them except for the most recent
Okay, so
one.
I saw this conversation play out a few times where really hardcore fans were like, This is nothing like the game. They're ruining the game. For one thing, I heard this conversation. They're not assassins. All it is a bunch of big fights outdoors. There's no. And someone else said, well, yeah, but they can't really show that in the movie. Them being stealthy and hiding and doing that.
They could do that.
I think they could. Right. I think they could. Right. So that they show an army fighting at one point, and I know they're gonna have to expand upon it. I understand that, but it just seemed so. It didn't seem true to the game because they completely messed up the anime stuff, which I didn't care about. I didn't like the anime stuff. But the new thing they were doing just seemed awkward and kind of dumb. And then the historical thing, they didn't pay. They paid very little attention. It looks like they did a latest. They phoned it in. We looked at a couple pictures. Just do what you want.
Yeah, in the video games, at the beginning of every single when you load up the game, every single time it says that everything was confirmed by actual historians.
Yeah, they actually did. I mean, it's not perfect.
Yeah,
made that clear now. But for video games, it's up there with the Total War series for historical accuracy. Yeah, it's not amazing, but it's for a video game, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I actually can, I was amazed when I was running around Rome. I'm wow, I'm climbing on the Colosseum, I'm doing all this stuff, and it looks real and believable. And now it didn't. It looked stylized and awkward, and also I'm not too happy about the movie because it stars the director is the guy that did Macbeth, and he also did a film that was really stylized and kind of cool looking. Well, actually, I don't think Assassin's Creed looks cool looking, but I do see the same kind of stylized thing that he did to it, and it didn't work with Macbeth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have high hopes of the movie.
It does have a little bit of that stink of failure on it.
Yes.
But just because it is very stylized, but I didn't think it looked that bad. If the next trailer had, I just want the next trailer to have more story beats to it and actually tell us what it's about. Maybe it'll show a little bit more of Spain, and maybe it won't look so terrible.
Maybe the dialogue won't be as bad as I'm predicting it will be. But I'm thinking this is going to be the few lines they gave me. I didn't like the delivery. I thought let's just move on.
Yeah.
We'll wait till we get the next trailer. But my hopes they're done. I have no hopes for this movie anymore. Now we'll move on to item number 2. Producer Simon Kinberg has revealed that Fox's upcoming third Wolverine film will be rated R. It will take place in the future, and Patrick Stewart will be reprising his role as Professor X. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I have to say to this.
Yeah, me too. Because after Deadpool was a huge success, rated R, we always had always expected that Fox was going to do something else rated R, whether it would be a X-Force movie, something like that. But now we get that Wolverine 3 is going to be rated R, and it's probably going to be called Old Man Logan, even though it can't actually be that. But all these comic book movies that have names taken from the comics, they aren't actually that storyline. They just take the name and they take the basic plot of it.
Right.
Because in in that actual storyline from the comics, they have Captain America, Hulk, Hawkeye is like his best friend in it. And I know your favorite character, Hawkeye, but
he's even worse in the comic books in that purple outfit.
Yes, but
what the hell?
But they're probably going to just take that basic storyline, have him be older because it takes place in the future now, and it's probably going to have him die at the end because they have to do something where it's going to have to like retcon him and have another actor play him in the future. But I do like that Patrick Stewart is going to be back as Professor X because both him and Ian McKellen, their roles as Professor X and Magneto in Days of Future Past, those are actually supposed to be their last times as those characters, but now he's coming back as Professor X.
Bring back Ian McKellen too. I love both the actors. I am excited about this. I like Patrick Stewart a lot. I'm a little confused though. If it's in the future, he's already old. I mean, I'm not sure how that works. I mean, is it like in the old man Logan? How far in the future are they?
It's pretty much like a post-apocalyptic world, and like. Wolverine,
so it's not necessarily like that far in the future. It's just post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, but Wolverine actually looks like really old in it. So I haven't read the storyline, but I'm thinking that it's just going to be like, it's going to be,
They did that already though with Days of Future Past. It wasn't like that the world, and he had some gray hair.
Yeah, I'm thinking that it's going to be like, where Days of Future Past was, but now in the new retcon timeline, like that's where. This is what's going to have happened, like
the same thing,
but not with like Sentinels and everything, because I don't really know what it's going to be like, because they have to change a lot from the comic book storyline. So they haven't said anything like. They haven't even confirmed that's going to be, called Old Man Logan.
It may not be called Old Man Logan, but they're going to take elements from it.
Yeah.
Now, what I really like, though, is they're finally making it rated R.
Yes.
Wolverine, I mean, it's so bizarre in those other movies. He has these giant claws, these super sharp claws, and he's stabbing people and ripping them apart. But he's not ripping them apart.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, like they just fall down. They don't even show anything.
Yeah, they fall down. It's like the classic comic book. Oh, I knocked him out.
Yeah.
I didn't kill him. I knocked him out.
Because even in Apocalypse, they show that part from the trailer where like they show like all these bodies like strewn all over the place. There's no blood or anything.
Yeah, there should be pools of blood. You know what I mean?
In some of the comic book iterations, they actually show some of that, but now they actually get to go like full blown violence in this movie, and that's what I want to see from a Wolverine movie, because he gets this berserker rage about him, and he just rips people apart. I actually want to see that on the big screen.
And we're finally going to see it, but is it going to be good?
Yeah, that's the key here, because we all know what happened with Wolverine Origins. It was so bad, it was god awful.
Wow.
And then the Wolverine was. I actually thought that was good. It wasn't great at all. I thought it was.
It was better, but it was really boring. I thought.
Yeah, it was really boring. Then then at the end, when they decided to make it a comic book movie, it was just all really weird.
Yeah, you're right. It was jarring at the end.
Yeah.
It was, and of course, and throughout that movie, it's had a more serious tone. But it's so bizarre when he has those claws. You're like, what's happening here? Where's it? It takes me out of it.
So, but hopefully for this, it'll be good. It's directed by James Mangold, who I think he did the last one. I'm not sure about that.
I think he did as well.
Yeah. So
he did a better job, so maybe he can improve upon it.
Yeah, maybe he'll take some hints like about what people complained about with the last one. So I'm excited for this. You add Patrick Stewart to anything, automatically makes it better.
Yep.
So,
Ching.
yeah, and maybe at the end we'll get a Deadpool cameo.
Ooh,
something like that.
He's got to be in there. He's got to be in there.
Maybe.
Maybe. Deadpool's going to be in there. It's rated R. Item number 3. In a different interview, Kimberg also stated that the current version of the planned New Mutants movie that Fox is working on will also feature Professor X, but it didn't say who will be playing Professor X.
Yes.
Could be McAvoy or Stewart. James McAvoy or Patrick Stewart, right?
I think in this, because another report came out that this movie is going to take place in the 90s. Like, it's going to be the next step for the X-Men movies, because Apocalypse takes place in the 80s, so New Mutants will take place in the 90s.
They shot the original X-Men movie in '99.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I think that McAvoy is going to play this version of Professor X, because I think they just want to, improve. I think just want to, continue that with that version of the character, because I know Stewart's coming back for Wolverine 3, but that's
He's getting older and older, but
Yeah.
even the thing, the age matters less and less now.
I know.
Because you see this new technology where they make people younger.
Yeah. It like both in Ant-Man and Captain America 3, you get to see that, and like I was looking at that, and it's like I just can't tell, like it actually looks like a younger version of that actor.
I think it looks good. I've heard complaints about it. They say it kind of falls to the uncanny valley area where it's like kind of creepy.
A little bit.
Yeah. To me, it's like when I see those characters on the screen doing all the ridiculous things, I still know it's not real.
Yeah.
So when I see them young, I'm like, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's good.
Yeah.
You know, I can suspend my disbelief.
Yes. So with this, they might age up McAvoy a little bit, but I think
it would make sense to age him up because 1999 was when the original X-Men was shot. Came out 2000, but the shooting was done 99.
Yeah.
This would be pretty close to that.
Yeah, I think they just want to, slowly integrate him into the age that Patrick Stewart was when he first played this character. So I think they're gonna slowly move him in, and then I'm sure they're gonna have Professor X be in almost every other X-Men movie that they're gonna make
you gotta have him.
Yeah, because he's a staple of this universe now. But as far as New Mutants go, I don't really know how to feel about this because last thing we heard was gonna have a young adult tone to it. And I don't really want that at all.
No young adult tone, please.
I want that serious tone that X-Men has always had to it, because even though it's a really blown out proportion comic book movie, it still has that serious down to earth tone.
Yeah, definitely more so than the Marvel films, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm excited for the future of the X-Men universe. We don't really know what's going to happen after Wolverine 3 and Apocalypse, but I'm excited to see what's going to come out.
And stay tuned. We're going to be seeing X-Men Apocalypse sometime. Is it come out soon?
It comes out next week.
Oh yeah, and then we'll be doing a review of it.
Yes.
Anyways, now let's move on to an item I just made up.
Okay.
So we mentioned the aging process, the de-aging process. Well, Martin Scorsese is making a new film.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it's got Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci. Holy shit, Jacob, what is wrong with you? Why did you not put this in the notes? This is astonishingly awesome. Goodfellas is a masterpiece. Casino is a masterpiece. Everything Martin Scorsese does is a fucking masterpiece. Yeah. And now he's got the old crew back, and he's got Al Pacino. Yeah. I recently saw the movie Heat with Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. I saw it randomly based on a throwaway line from some online critic where he's like, oh, there's a great scene between Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in Heat. I'm like, I never knew they were in a movie together, a gangster movie. It wasn't quite a gangster movie. I was slightly disappointed, but it was kind of cool seeing them on screen because they're iconic gangsters from The Godfather. They both were they're both in Godfather 2. So I am really excited about this, and they're going to be using the de-aging technology.
Yeah, that's right.
Right throughout it. So I guess it's about. I'm not sure who plays the main character, but one of them is dying, and it's about they're retelling the history. Yeah. It might be called The Irishman or The Irish.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's called The Irishman, and it also stars the old Spider-Man there.
Tony Maguire.
Yeah. No. The other one.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. It stars Andrew Garfield too. So I am excited about this. I just didn't think it was that important, but
the greatest living director of our time.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro, have you seen Casino? Have you seen Goodfellas?
I have not seen Casino.
You seen Goodfellas?
No. But I am a big Martin Scorsese fan.
And you haven't seen his best movies?
Nope.
Yeah, get out of here, big Martin. Originally, Robert De Niro, right? You've seen Raging Bull, Taxi Driver, right?
Yes.
He was his guy, and then he switched over to Leonardo DiCaprio, and in the mid '90s, there was a switch.
Yeah. To
see him returning to Robert De Niro, and to see Joe Pesci, who fell off the face of the earth. I ain't even sure.
Yeah.
When was the last time he was in a movie? I don't even know.
Probably sometime in the 90s.
Yeah, I have no clue. To see those two returning alone, their chemistry is so good. You saw him he's in Raging Bull, Joe Pesci, right? They're so good, and they always play this kind of antagonistic buddy relationship. In that movie, they're brothers. In Casino, they're like one's running Casino, and one's the tough man, the strong arm, Joe Pesci. In Goodfellas, they're both gangsters. I am so pumped about this film, and I'm pumped about seeing Martin Scorsese using this technology. Like, how is he going to incorporate it? And I'm just so excited for another like gangster biopic kind of thing. He does this so well. You saw The Departed?
Yes, I've seen The Departed.
Okay, thank you.
That was a masterpiece.
Yes. Yeah. Then you need to see Goodfellas and Casino because they're awesome too. Goodfellas would be the one to see first, but they're all great. So I'm pumped about this, and I want to see this in the theater. I mean, this is how much I'm interested. I don't see a lot of movies in the theater because I don't have a lot of money. But Martin Scorsese is one of my favorite directors of all time. It's like him, Stanley Kubrick, and Akira Kurosawa are like my favorite directors.
And it will be really interesting to see Martin Scorsese use this new technology in his films because he's a really old director. He's been doing it since like the probably like the
early 70s, I think.
Yeah. So interesting to see him, just embrace this new technology and use it in his film. Yeah,
that's another thing I like about. I'm so impressed about Martin Scorsese is how relevant he stayed.
Yeah.
He's like back when he made Raging Bull, like this is so great. He's not going to beat this, and then 10 years later he comes out with Goodfellas. Like this is his high point. And then he comes out with The Departed. I mean, he's coming out with these amazing movies, and he stays relevant, and like they don't seem like out of date, his movies. It's not like, this guy's stuck in the past. He's not really aware of what's going on these days. No, he's quite up to date. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he definitely does. So I am going to look forward to The Irishman. I think it comes out at the end of this year.
Ooh.
So I'll be really interested. He has like 3 or 4 movies lined up next. So he has a lot coming out. So
one other thing I'm happy about this is both Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They've been known to phone it in recently. Well, I've seen a couple of their more recent performances, and I was like, who are these people?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen amazing performances out of them, like in The Godfather or Merchant of Venice for Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, all those gangster movies like Goodfellas and whatnot. And then some of the recent ones are just bizarre.
Yeah, they show up in these like dumb comedies, and they just phone it in.
Oh, yeah, it's really obvious and lazy.
Yeah, but I think Martin Scorsese can definitely get those performances out of them.
Yes, he's going to get him out of them.
Because he's done it in the past.
Excellent. Hamtastic. Now move on to item number 4. Days after Warner Brothers moved the release date of Godzilla 2 from May of 2018 to March 22nd, 2019, it has been revealed that Rogue One director Gareth Edwards has left the project. Fine by me. I didn't like the first movie very much.
I actually am excited too. Oh, not really excited, but I am kind of happy that he did leave the project because while I actually liked the first Godzilla, I did think that he has this thing just about slow burn, just doing, and it didn't work with Godzilla because he did it with his first film too, Monsters, which is definitely more of an indie film, so it kind of called for that like big reveal at the end of the monsters, but it didn't work for Godzilla that much. But those last 15 minutes, man, so awesome.
I agree. The end of the movie was, it was pretty epic.
Yes.
I thought it was really cool, but so much filler and build up. I was bored.
After, this is a spoiler for the movie. I haven't seen it. It's been out for a while now. After Bryan Cranston died, I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about any of the character development, nothing like that. Didn't care about...
You shoot them all in the head.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it didn't matter. So I want a Godzilla movie where, the characters and Godzilla actually matter in the film.
Yes.
I don't want all that filler bullshit. I just want Godzilla fighting other monsters.
Yeah, and they can make it a slow burn in the sense of, well, he doesn't have to fight the big epic monster till the end. He can fight some weaker monsters to show what a badass Godzilla is. Like, he's beating the shit out of some like Mothra or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's a super monster at the end that he has to fight.
And in that Godzilla movie, he was actually fighting those things throughout the film. They just kept cutting away. And so they should have actually showed him fighting them.
Why did they show him fighting him? That was so bizarre.
Yeah, the first time it cut away, it was kind of funny. Yeah. And then after that, it was just like, wait, am I actually going to see Godzilla do anything in this film? But, so, yeah, I am happy that he's moving away. And he said that after Rogue One, he just did this giant blockbuster film. He wants to do some more, indie projects after that. So I hope they get someone who actually, knows what they're doing a little bit more with a Godzilla movie for Godzilla 2. So I guess they pushed it back because they need to find a new director now.
Yes.
So, but we're getting Kong Skull Island next year. Now in 2019 we're getting Godzilla 2, and then 2020 we're getting Godzilla versus King Kong.
Oh right? Yeah, monster bashing action, folks. Yes. Bash.
There's a lot of people don't really like Pacific Rim that much, but that movie kind of propelled this out, like this new era of giant monsters fighting each other. Yeah, so I'm excited for the next few years for giant monsters fighting each other.
Oh, hell yeah. Now let us move on. Item number 5 of the Geek News. In a recent interview, Jessica Jones star Christian Ritter has confirmed that the second season of the show will take place after the upcoming Netflix miniseries, The Defenders. And the two shows will be shooting back to back. Before we talk about the second season of Jessica Jones, miniseries? What does that mean?
It's going to be like, as opposed to 13 episodes, it's going to be like 8 episodes.
Oh, okay.
And it's just going to be like a one season thing until, after like every other show has another second season, then they'll probably do another Defenders thing. Okay. But yeah, we both like Jessica Jones, so I'm excited that a second season is upcoming. But a lot of people were really confused about when it was going to happen because after Jessica Jones, we had the second season of Daredevil, then we're getting Luke Cage, then we're getting Iron Fist, and then we're getting The Defenders. So everyone was like, when is Jessica Jones season 2 going to happen? So it makes sense that it's going to happen after The Defenders, but the fact that it's shooting back to back, that's going to be a long shooting schedule for Christian Ritter. She's going to have a lot to a lot to do there. But I am excited for The Defenders because I want to see all these characters finally come together, because we already got Luke Cage and Jessica Jones together, but I want to see them together with Daredevil. Because, because it's
the Avengers on the small screen.
Yes, and but both Daredevil and Jessica Jones, they both had a similar, like very serious feel to them. They both had different tones, I felt. So it was really interesting to see Matt Murdock and Jessica Jones be together on the screen together, because I don't really know, like I want to see them, their interactions with each other, and what kind of like on-screen chemistry they're going to have together.
I really liked Jessica Jones. Have you noticed this? So online, I've noticed over time since the show came out that opinion seems to have gotten slightly pulled back. There's not people that really liked it like it slightly less than they said originally.
Yeah.
I've heard every people say, well, after thinking about it, I liked it, but it wasn't as good as I thought. Maybe I originally thought. I think it's great.
Yeah, I still think it's great, but I actually have the same thing that a lot of other people have. But it's very minor for me. But like I have some more complaints about the first season than I had originally. Like one thing is that there's no character development at all, except for that one guy who was a drug addict. There's no character development in the entire series. Because at the beginning of the first season, she's the same character as she is at the end of the first season.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Unlike Daredevil, who you can see quite a leap.
Yeah, but she did say in the same thing where she confirmed this, that they're going to delve deeper into her character now, because now that Kilgrave's gone, she doesn't have a reason to like wake up in the morning, because her whole life revolved around that guy, and now that she got rid of him, she doesn't really have a point to live, basically. So I think they're going to have a major, they're going to have a little bit more character development for that character in the second season, but we have to wait a long time to see it now. But we're going to get to see her in The Defenders, so I am excited about that.
I am so excited about all the Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed by Jessica Jones, Daredevil season 1 and 2. I didn't like Daredevil season 2 quite as much as season 1. It was a little more comic booky, and I prefer a little more grounded. But it was still amazing. Yeah, right? That's like saying, I didn't like Game of Thrones season 5 as much as the other ones. Yeah. But it's still amazing.
It is like quality television.
Yes.
And but I'm really excited to see Luke Cage, because they said that one has a very different tone than both Jessica Jones and Daredevil. So I'm really excited, interested to see.
Oh, that was the one where the director didn't he make a stupid comment about being like The Wire?
Probably, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
You don't want to compare yourself to one of the greatest television shows, most critically acclaimed shows of all time.
Yes, but maybe it will be, but I highly doubt it.
I can't see how it would be like The Wire. But whatever.
Yeah, he's a guy that's bulletproof and beats up people.
The Wire's like super gritty, real drug dealing, cops versus drug dealers, the corruption of the. Maybe he could be like a guy fighting it's going to take place in Harlem, I believe. Yeah. And maybe there's going to be a racism element there. The cops, which is like a big theme in The Wire. The cops are all the cops are racist, right? That's a big theme. Maybe, I don't know, but He kind of quickly backtracked on that comment. So, well, I didn't quite.
So everyone's going to compare it to The Wire and be like, you were wrong.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Alrighty then, let's move on to item number 6. According to comicbook.com, directors of the upcoming Avengers Infinity Wars movies, Joe and Anthony Russo, accidentally name-dropped Captain Marvel when speaking about the upcoming films, possibly confirming the character will appear.
Yeah, this is non-news.
Thank you,
It's completely non-news, but I just use it as an excuse to talk about Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Because, after that, like, someone's like, so, wait, Captain Marvel's going to be in the film? And they're like, no, we want a different Captain Marvel. They joked about it afterwards. But we all knew that she was going to be in these movies already because her movie takes place in between the two of them, so she's going to appear in at least one of them.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense, that they would make a mistake like this because they're so just like immersed in Marvel just 24/7 because they had Winter Soldier, then Civil War, now both Infinity War movies. They're just in this world just all the time. Probably talking about.
So many characters.
Yeah.
Like they lose track with who's been introduced, who's been in what movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They don't know anymore. So, but I
hardly know.
Yeah. Me neither. But I am really excited to see her in this movie because she was actually going to appear at the end of Avengers 2. Like when they showed the new Avengers lineup.
Yep.
She was just gonna like fly down and be there. But I feel like that would have been a little jarring, and I think that I've been
like on the email reveal level.
Yeah. I think the people at Marvel, picked up on that. We're like, no, we're gonna leave her for Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
So I do think that she's probably is going to be in the first one, and like be introduced kind of like a Black Panther.
That would be the smart play, I think.
Yeah. So. I think they're going to do that, have her own movie, and then she's going to expand upon it even more in Infinity Wars Part 2. But as for who's going to play her, I would really like to see Emily Blunt play her because she's not a huge action star, but she was in Edge of Tomorrow, and I loved her in that movie, and I would think that she would fit the role pretty well. Either her or Charlize Theron, because they're both
Theron, I could see.
Yeah, they're both great actresses, and I think they would fit that role pretty well. But I don't really know that much about the character.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Captain Marvel.
But I want to know more about the character because she has like alien powers inside of her. Like so she's kind of like inhuman in some ways, but I don't really want to get into that because it just reminds me of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't want to get reminded of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. But I am excited for the Infinity War movies because I just want to see where they're going to go because we're going to get to see the Avengers in space.
And it's shot by the Russo brothers.
Yes, and it's shot by the Russo brothers.
Oh my, the Russo brothers had done my two favorite Marvel films. My two favorite MCU films are Civil War and Winter Soldier. Those are my two favorite films, and I'm just amazed at what they've done. How the meticulous detail they gave in Civil War to all the characters, how they make the characters be on a believable arc.
Yes.
Like, so you see Captain America kind of grow as a character. You see characters grow. You see characters have new technologies. It's really smart use. Like, I was really impressed by, like, Falcon. Mm-hmm. Like, the new things he did. Like, and I'm now wondering with the Infinity Wars, with all these other characters, what clever new ways are they going to make the characters more interesting, but in a believable way? Right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, they just shoehorn things in. Suddenly, they just pull something out of their ass. Oh, I got this new technology. Oh, it's so amazing. Right? And I hate when they do too much of that. Like, in Civil War, for example, Iron Man, he's a guy in this suit that can fly and he shoots things.
Yeah.
Other movies, they made him have, I have a whole legion of people with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this other armor suit. Oh, I got all these special devices that can do anything you want. They kept his character more simple in Civil War. I'm like, that's good.
Yes.
Right? It makes it more believable.
Yeah. It took all of that ridiculous stuff that happened in the other movies, and they kind of just like pulled it in a little bit.
Yeah.
And they made sure that it was still there.
Yes.
But they made a point like it's not going to be in this movie.
Yeah, it was. I loved how they handled all the characters. Even Hawkeye, who I don't like, they did all right with him, man. He's just terrible. I can't stand that guy. But they made it believable. So now they have they've proven to me that they can handle a large cast, which is tough. That huge cast of characters.
Yeah.
Infinity Wars is going to be So mmany characters.
Yeah, and it's also written by the same people that wrote Civil War.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah. So they got this. Marvel has their team.
Damn, I didn't know that. I'm really pumped now.
Yeah, Marvel has it's a team of these 4 guys, and they just knock it out of the park every time.
Oh yeah, we'll stay tuned. We're gonna review it when it comes out. Infinity Wars 1 and 2. But now let's move on to the part of the show that we call Geek Talk. This is where we talk about anything in the Geekverse. What are we talking about today, Cobb?
All right, today we're talking about why does network television suck?
This has plagued me for years, ever since I started watching HBO. So I grew up on network television. My favorite TV show of all time is a network television show, Star Trek Next Generation. But as I've said in the past, a lot of that's just nostalgia, and I know better than to think it's as good as it is. It just appeals to my taste. But I remember when I first started watching HBO. You know, as a kid, I didn't grow up with HBO. I only saw the shitty network shows. And then I started seeing shows like The Wire, Sopranos, Rome, Deadwood, Game of Thrones, all these amazing shows. And the shows, first of all, the writing was fantastic, but they looked like movies.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones looks like a movie. Deadwood looks like a movie. The later seasons of Sopranos looks like a movie. Rome had a $100 million budget. How does that have a $100 million budget? they rebuilt ancient Rome. It is like, what the hell? This is ridiculous what they're doing. I just don't get how they have that format. And they can do it so well, and now other channels have adopted it. Channels like FX or AMC. You see shows like Mad Men and Breaking Bad. Yeah. You see that miniseries, that anthology series you like.
Are you talking about Fargo?
Fargo,
yeah, Fargo,
right? You see these shows, and like the quality is just so much better than network.
Yeah.
And then I also am confused by network's insistence on keeping the traditional 22 whatever episode format. It's too long. I know the shows are I know it's shorter because the episodes are like 42, 43 minutes instead of like 50, 55 minutes, but it's still much, much longer in the end because there's just so many more episodes. It makes up for that, episode size gap. And I don't get that. Why do they keep doing that, Cobb?
Because they want to have more people watch more episodes, but it just doesn't work because they have so many filler episodes.
Yes, filler.
And it also affects other episodes because it's like we can continue with this format of just have shitty writing.
Yes.
And shitty character development and all that crap that I just hate about shows like Arrow and like I said before, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
And so I just hate all of these shows. But I still watch them. So, but that's another video altogether. I don't really know the answer to why does network television keep just putting on they have these shows. They have great premises. They get some great talent behind them, but then they just turn out to not be good at all.
They stretch everything out so much, so they can't put like all the goodies in one episode because we gotta stretch it out. And I even shows that don't have as many episodes, like say The Walking Dead, they keep adding more. So originally the first season I think was 6 episodes, and then they did maybe a 13 episode season or 12 or 13, and now it's up to 16.
Yeah.
And I can feel as the episodes get added. It's not like I get more of what I wanted. No. I don't get more of what I want.
Yeah.
Because I get some great episodes, and then I get the filler episodes.
Yeah. And they recently confirmed that the last few seasons of Game of Thrones are going to have less episodes. I'm actually excited about that.
Yeah.
Because we get to have more awesome episodes.
Yes. I mean, even Game of Thrones, it's only 10 episodes. It has a huge number of characters, a lot to cover. Even then, there's some like season 5 people complain about it when it was a little slower. Some of the episodes are just kind of it's like Lord of the Rings. You're just walking around. You're not doing anything. It's just walking around. But that show is amazing. So then you take a show that's not so great, but like Arrow, and then you stretch it to all these episodes. Like, oh come on! They don't have the budget. That's something I think might be an explanation why the shows don't look as good. Because I'm like, don't the networks have huge budgets? Like, don't they have the money?
I know.
But maybe it's because they spread that money out over. If you're spreading the money out over 22 episodes, what the hell?
And another thing, unlike channels like AMC or FX, they have so many shows. They have
ton of shows.
They have ton of shows. They constantly confirm for approved pilots, and then those pilots air. And then they just cancel the show.
Yep.
Just like, no one watched that, so we gotta cancel it now.
And all the money and development that went into it.
Yep.
They don't stand behind their products. Like HBO, yes, do shows sometimes get canceled on HBO, of course,
Yeah.
but they usually give the show. It has a whole season at least.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite shows on HBO is actually a show called Carnival. It took place in the 1930s and followed a traveling carnival, and there was mysterious fantasy elements in the background. And as the show progressed, it only lasted 2 seasons, and it was an amazing. And again, it was cinematic. Writing was fantastic. The historical research was. Another thing I love about HBO is they do a much better job with the historical research, like Boardwalk Empire, Band of Brothers, The Pacific, Rome. These show Deadwood. These shows they bother to put like the effort into it. Whenever I see historical stuff on the network television, I'm like, this is lazy. That's the thing. They're lazy. Whenever I see any writing on the network televisions, it's lazy. And I think it's because they have that schedule. There's just so much. We gotta create. We don't have time to check this. We just gotta get it out there. So that's why you see like ridiculous premises, on some of like the shows like Arrow and whatnot, where it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Well, we had no time to bother to figure this out. We have no time.
Yeah, I think this is something that's a little bit more recent, because if you look back in time, there have been some great shows that have been on network television, like
Star Trek Next Generation.
Yes, and one of my favorite shows, Twin Peaks. And like you look at those shows, and they are kind of more cinematic than like you look at shows now. But also those shows also had that 22 episode format. And you watch them, and you're like, oh, this is a little bit too much. So they continue with it with the same themes, but somewhere along the line they just got lazy, like you said. They just got lazy with all the writing and everything. So.
And also they stick network shows. This is a bit of a shift. But they've changed the format from being like it used to just be the shows were standalone. I think I'm not sure if that's called episodic, when each show kind of stands on its own. And then there's a serial format where it's a one big story.
Yeah.
And HBO used to always follow the serial format. It was one big story. Game of Thrones is one big story. Star Trek Next Generation is not. It's episodic. You can watch any random episode of Star Trek Next Generation, and you don't really need to know about anything else. And that's kind of interesting. That creates for an interesting dynamic in the case of Star Trek with their social commentary, where each episode is really commenting about something else. But if you have a continuous story, I feel it ties the shows together better. But they can't do that because there's just so much stuff. There's so many episodes. It's like, well, we just can't have a continuous story. There has to be some filler here. I hate that. Shorten the seasons, make the stories matter more, and do less filler.
Yeah, and another interesting thing is we mentioned Fargo before. I really like when they have when they have these anthology series, because each season is a different story.
That is such a neat. That's new. Yeah. I don't remember that when I was 10 years ago.
Yeah, the only two. I know that there's probably more, but the only 2 shows that I know of is
True Detective, right?
3 shows actually. So True Detective, Fargo, and American Horror Story. I watch all 3 of them. They're all great except for the second season of True Detective. What wasn't good at all. But so yeah, that's another really interesting format to use. But all 3 of those shows are on major network.
Right, exactly. Like True Detective is on HBO, right?
Yeah, and then the other 2 shows are on FX. So
again, it's these channels. It's so strange to me that these smaller channels, but maybe they're not as small as I think they are managing to do the most innovative television.
Yeah,
it's like, what, really?
Yeah, and for channels like AMC and FX, that also their hands are tied a little bit because they're not on something like HBO.
They're not premium cable.
Yeah, they're not
cable, but they're not premium.
Yeah, so they can't say, they can't drop like F-bombs. They can't show gratuitous like nudity or violence. They can show a lot. They can actually show a lot of violence.
And they can occasionally drop F-bombs.
Yeah,
Mad Men did. Breaking Bad did.
Yeah, but on TV though, they
Oh, they bleep it out?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. I'm watching like the DVD version or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I remember there was.
But I prefer when they actually, say it and then like blur it or whatever, but then you can watch it some other format. Then it's using alternative language and it's awkward.
Yeah. So there's a lot wrong with network television, and I don't really know what the answer is. But I hope that in the future, these shows, they're not going to do this because they love money. I just hope they just bring it back a little bit. Like, how about we don't approve all these pilots and just bring all these shows to full series orders? Like, I really don't want that Marvel's Most Wanted to get a full series order. Please God, no. I don't want that show to happen at all. And I hope those reports are true that it's not going to happen.
Please.
Because you look at shows like this and Marvel's Agent of Shield, and they have all these spin-off ideas, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Put the effort into the show itself. The money you were going to put into that spin-off, put it into Agents of Shield.
Yeah, make it better.
Right. I don't know the answer here. I do think the networks are going to be forced, though, to change because of things like Amazon and Netflix.
Yeah.
Because they're the new game in town.
Yeah.
Where it's like, wait, now we got something else where with no censorship, we can do whatever we want. But it's like kind of a giant movie, kind of not. So please, network television change. But even if you don't change, I don't really care because there's so much other quality stuff now.
Yeah.
And with Netflix and all these other people joining the game, there's plenty of good stuff out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to watch. So, and we're from now on, we're only going to focus on the premium, real good shit, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. The good shit.
Yes.
Because it's too hard keeping up with these long 22 episode shows, 20 episode shows, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Here's something crazy. Star Trek Next Generation was 26 episodes a season.
Oh, damn.
26
Wow.
episodes a season.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It makes it hard for you to catch up.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to catch up with The Flash or whatever. It's only two seasons in, right? Yeah, it's 40 episodes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and Flash is actually a show that I like. We're going to continue watching that because that actually has some,
some value.
Yeah, it has some value, unlike the other shows on CW. But.
Alrighty then, Cobb. Well, that's why networks suck. We hate networks. Go away, fix yourselves, come back when you've gotten better. But now we've reached the part of the show where I almost break into tears. Cobb, tell me where we can get more.
You can find us on our YouTube channel at Geeks at the Movies, and you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Geeks at the Movie.
Drop the S. You can email us at geeksatthemovies.ct@gmail.com.
Got it.
Right in the comment section below. We want to hear from you. Tell us, give us your feedback. Anyways, my name is Shane Goodrich. This is
Jacob Visitos.
And we're in Geeks at the Movies. Bang. Be free. Look at it. It's not poisonous, right? Can't hurt anybody then.
No.
This is